Hello Floss, my name is Tamara. Welcome to my channel Tamara Cross Stitch. I would like to start today's video with a design, with a project which I have been stitching, but I haven't finished it yet. But still I want to talk about it. So this is Esmeralda Witch from this book, from Mill Hill book. So I showed a video to you that I was crazy about stitching Mill Hill, and yes, this craziness went even more, and I started stitching Esmeralda, but I haven't finished her. I didn't put her together so that I would have kind of like a doll. So this is what I have. The thing is that the stitching of like the Esmeralda and her, just a sec, I hate when I have such things. Esmeralda and her like socks and boots. It took 3 days to do it, so it was pretty fast because here the fabric here is Closter, I think it's called. It's 7th count. It's super big, yes. So it's a pretty big, pretty quick stitch. But I wouldn't recommend to stitch it quickly, because when you are stitching with this, how do I say, this kind of ribbon cranik, you have to stitch it carefully, and you have to lay each part so that the cross stitches would look beautifully. If you are going just like that, it's not okay. Even if I was like trying and like arranging each cross stitch, even though they are not all of them are nice, because some of them it was like kind of like they twisted and I couldn't untwist them, something like this. But till the end I did it. And when I started from this side, you know, like her dress, and the first thing I did, I stitched with one of the, because there are two oranges here, two shades of orange. I stitched with orange her skirt part of the dress here. Then when I had to stitch with the cranik ribbon, the cranik ribbon was kind of like touching the floss, and the floss was the cross stitch, the floss was like going into, because there are 6 flosses. When you are stitching with the DMC, you have to take the whole skein with like 6 threads in it. Then I realized that it won't work like this, and the rest of the work, everywhere where I had to stitch a part, I was stitching the cranik first, then I was adding the cotton floss, because it seemed to me that cotton floss like went nicer, smoother when it was like this. I don't know if I'm right, but this is how it happened. And except like this one, I had this kind of ribbon from YLI. This one is easier to stitch with it, but still you have to arrange it. But I still think that the cross stitches which are made with the cranik ribbon floss, they look nicer and how they say, brighter than this one. So if you want to like replace this one with cranik also, it would be a good idea. And when I reached to her face, I have to stitch with this kind of like whitish like light color. And when I stitched it like with 6 strands, I didn't like how it looked, and that's why I took 3 more strands. I went one more time, and yes, her face looks like this, but still I cannot see the fabric. I didn't like at all. The black one, if you notice, yes, for the black one also the fabric underneath can be seen, but I didn't like go with more than 6 strands. For this one I just stayed with 6 strands. And what else? It's interesting here. The beads, by the way. When you attach the beads, so this one come in bead loop. You know what the bead loop means. Like when you go like you do a half stitch, you take 2 beads, and when you go like the other half of the stitch, you take 3 beads, and the bead which is in the middle goes kind of up. So this is like this everywhere here in the middle. It's a bead loop, and also this kind of bead loops, they were like here, you see, nice ones. Thanks God that they said that you do the other beads. The bead in the center is purple, because they say very little, by the way, here, very little. There is none information how to finish this one. I will try to do my best, because I'm not like an expert in finishing this kind of things. I will do my best, but I still kind of like I'm afraid that I won't do it right, you know. And this one, so this one is a bead loop, and the black one is half bead loop. I think it's the first time when I did such a thing. I don't remember doing it before. So when you go the half stitch, you go with you take 2 beads on the needle, and then when you do the other half stitch, it's just the thread, and you kind of like close the cross stitch. Very nice, I would say. Again, they didn't say, at least I didn't see anywhere, how many threads to take for this. I took 4 because 4 it was the maximum of threads which were going through the needle, because 6 it was too much. Maybe I should have done it with 6, but 6 it was too much. Anyway, I'm happy with the coverage which was made here. And when I made her hair, so underneath here, everything is like this green chartreuse Kreinik. It was nice, really, it was nice. And I said, okay, I won't attach this thing because I like how it is. But then I said, okay, I bought it kind of like I have everything for her. Why not trying? So this Estaz, yes. And I tried with the Estaz, and I like how it looks like 3D her hair. It's nice. Speaking about her boots, yes, I showed them, they are here. I placed them like this because when I started stitching Esmeralda, I thought that I would use the same fabric for the back part, but then I realized that probably it's going to be difficult to attach it. So so far I'm not I don't know what I'm going to use for the back. I will decide. Speaking about the treasures, so these margaritas, they are according to the key. So I bought, I don't remember how many, 6 or 8 packs, like 3 margaritas in each, and they are here. You see everything. It's a very beautiful part of the dress, by the way. Her buttons here, they are pumpkin, as you can see. They are also according to the key. Everything which was sold, I mean, it's not out of print, the treasures, I bought all of them. If it's out of print, I already thought about replacing them. Her nose, it's like on a side, not because I was wrong, but because this is how it's supposed to be. The thing is that her nose has to be vitriol star. Vitriol, it means this color, but it has to be a star, a very little star. Those kind of stars, they don't have any holes to attach them. You have to kind of like stitch them, attach them with thread to the fabric. I hate them. I attached such stars so far, and I absolutely hate attaching them. That's why I just because the last pack with the this is the margaritas. The last pack I used just 1 for the dress, and I was left with 2. So I took one from here and I put it here. And by the way, I usually attach these margaritas with so I get here a petite bead. They didn't say anything about attaching. How do you do it? So I just chose, I think it's Petite Rainbow beads, and I attach them, all of them, with Petite Rainbow. So in this case, it's not a star, it's a flower, and it's not so small, it's larger, but I like it better how it looks. And then I attached here. So the star which comes here, it's according to the key. Here and here it should be yellowish stars, and they should be buttons, you know, the ceramic buttons. You know that the ceramic buttons are out of print, so I didn't even look for them because I know they are expensive, they are rare. And I bought the same stars but smaller size. I saw that they were in stock and like they exist, and I bought smaller. So this is how it looks like. And here you see on the edge of her hat, again it should be a yellow ceramic button, huge one, and I attached such a green Swarovski star. I think it's going to be nice. So this is like how I dealt with the things which I was missing. And her boots, I like very much her stockings, not socks, stockings. And her boots, they come also with a lot of Kreinik, and here are margaritas, you see, like orange ones. Again, I chose like orange beads and I attached them. So yes, kind of like I started stitching it. I stitched until Friday afternoon. Then it was weekend. At weekend, of course, I didn't start anything like finishing it. And I thought that I'm going to finish it next week. By the way, I started stitching her bag as well. For her bag, I need this kind of, you see, band, even with it's pumpkin, and I thought that I'm going to need a lot because somehow I was imagining myself that it should be like this, you see, but no, this one, it would be like a very big bag. It would be a like sack, or how you call it. So you have to take a piece, you have to fold, you see, and then you fold it like this. Then I have to take this kind of like craning. They say I should take green and go like this, make the handle, come back. I doubt that I'm going to make it green because I don't like how green looks on this orange. I am probably going to make it like purple, you see, because purple is going to look very contrast. But I haven't finished it because so here you the back stitch says streak. Here it should be kind of like a star like this. Here it should be a smaller star, again that small star which has to be on her nose, and here it should be a ceramic button, a candy corn. I don't have the extra candy corns. I can take one from one of the Mill Hill kits, which I am going to do. So the thing is that this one's a Swarovski. I attached 3. I don't like how it looks like. I'm going to take out this 2. I'm going to leave this one. Here, still, I'm going to attach a button. It's going to be a candy corn button. And here, instead of this one, I'm going to attach the small one, like the remaining one. And all 3 of them are going to be different. So yes, I have to change, but I didn't have the time already. And I am thinking about how to do it, how to put it together so that it would look nice. Because still, I said I'm not like a pro in all these things, and because I knew that I'm not going to finish it on at weekend, I thought that at weekend it would be good to stitch something small, and I took such a kit by Shepherd's Bush. This is a bag, the last bag from the series I have at least. This is such a trick-or-treat bag, also Halloween. And these are the leftovers because I finished it. Yes, I was a good girl. So on Saturday I stitched it the whole Saturday, and on Monday, like morning, the first part of the day, I finished it, and the new project came and I started a new project, and you'll find out about this. So this is how it looks like. As I said, it's not the first one. It was very easy to finish. This one was the easiest and the quickest to finish, by the way. This is how it looks. So it says Boo. Here it has a specialty stitch, trick or treat, and here it has a pumpkin charm, this one. And of course here it has a ghost charm, and here is a half moon charm. Nice one, really nice one. The thread which was supposed to come here wasn't enough, by the way, and I don't understand how you... This is DMC, by the way. It's not a problem I took from my stash, but it wasn't enough. And even this like hem stitch, I did it very quickly. And when you finish it, so I know it from the first one, so you do like here and here, you do the stitches, and yes, it's filled with, you know, like polyfill, or how do you call it? So they say that you should fill it with candies, blah blah blah, but no. In my case, this is just decoration. Yes. And these are the leftovers of the threads, which are a lot of beads, by the way. We put a lot of beads this time. Threads, beads, and the chart. And that's it. So, such a nice design. It was finished so quickly. And I finished the bags from my stash. Yes. And the part the part of the small video which you saw, it was dedicated to the Harry Potter fans. You know, on our trip to Scotland, of course, we couldn't not to stop at Glenfinnan Viaduct. We were nearby. By the way, it's a very, very touristic place. I wasn't expecting this. I thought that it's not so touristic, but it is. There is a paid parking. There is a gift shop there. It was raining, by the way, and there were a lot of people. I didn't hear anybody speaking English, by the way. Everybody was speaking like French, German, Spanish. Yes. And if you are a Harry Potter fan, of course, it works. Because in summertime, I think there are like 4 trains during the day which are going, or 4, I think. But in winter time, there is just one. If you want to have a ride with the train, by the way, you can have a ride with the train. You have to look on the internet. Nobody in our family so far is a fan of Harry Potter. That's why we were nearby, and we decided that probably it worth go and see why so many people are thrilled about. And my new project is going to be such a wonderful new release from Justnan. This is 20 Haunted Windows Pentagon Ball. I'm very, very happy that there is a new design, because Justnan had a, a break during summertime and a bit of autumn. I was waiting, honestly speaking, I was waiting for the Summer Mouse on the Biscornu. I don't know why I thought that they are going to be like released in the same year. Nobody said that they are going to be released in the same year. It's just my deduction. And when I saw this one, I was so happy. And it's great. It's a great design. Previously, so this is not the first design by Justnan of this form. Previously, there was another Pentagon ball. This one. Not very often stitched, by the way, this one. I don't know why. But I like it. I love it very much. And I stitched it, I think, a couple of years ago. Even more, 3. I'm not sure. But I was very kind of like happy to stitch it, to do it. Nice. Very, very nice. So I would say that I have experience of like stitching and finishing such a design. And here... it's 20 haunted windows, so 20 because the number of triangles is 20 actually. Here you have like the preview, and then there is the chart. I like this one. You see it has like the stitched triangles, and there is like the interfacing iron on the back, how it looks like. Then there is the chart, and in the end you have the way you are putting it together. Pretty clear, I would say. And this one is being stitched. Just a second, let me finish. So you have the chart, and you have an embellishment pack which comes in such nice pack. I adore such things, I'm telling you from the very beginning. So there are like inside 2 packs. Here you have some sequins and black beads, petite beads. These ones are going to be needed here, so you need the straight pins for these ones to thrust them. Take a bead, take a sequin, and thrust them here. And there is one more, which comes, so here are 2 colors of beads. There is petite like rainbow, I don't know how to call it. I know for sure that I used it in at least 2 or 3 designs. And there is like the pumpkin bead, you know, like the orange one which has stripes on it. And there are 2 fabric, I don't know how to call them. So there is a ghost and there is a bat, and you have to, again, like use pins and make kind of like pins to thrust here. This one's nice, really nice. And to stitch this design, you need DMC threads, just DMC. I'm so happy when there is just DMC. I'm just pulling them out from my like boxes, and I have them. So these are the DMC threads you need, beautiful ones. What is with these extra ones? So it is said that the black, the 310, you need 3 skeins. So these are the last 3 skeins which I had in stock, because usually when I'm buying white B5200, a crew, and black, I'm buying like kind of like 5 skeins, not 1. and these are the last 3, but still I'm using like the one which is here. I didn't start any of them. I couldn't find the the one with 740. I took a new one. I'll find it later. And the white one, I thought that it's a little, and I took a new one so that I would have it like in case that one finishes. So yes, these are the threads which you need. The fabric which is asked by the key is 30-second count Peoria Purple by Weeks Dye Works. Peoria Purple looks like this. So I think a couple of years ago, a year ago, don't remember exactly when, I purchased a full yard, half a yard, I don't remember, a big chunk of fabric, because I knew that I want to stitch this one. It's stitched on this fabric, and I also used Peoria Purple when I stitched this house. You see, the inside of the house is everything is with Peoria Purple, and you need a lot, you know, because you're stitching, you have to fold, you need like the margins, the extra. So this one, if you remember. Yeah, so I bought it like mainly for this too, because previously I think I also had it, don't remember, but I remember that chunk I bought it for this one. And somewhere, I think on Facebook, don't remember where, somebody was asking about how much fabric to buy. I don't remember which was the context, because apparently I didn't have the chart yet. Apparently in the chart it was said that this time you need 5 pieces of 16 by 18. So you have to stitch 4 by 4 the triangles, because in this one, as far as I remember, you had a big chunk of fabric and you were stitching like usually when you were stitching them, they were connected like base to base. You see, base to base, and then it was like how they say, top to top, something like this. And I said okay. And because I still had a little piece of this Peoria Purple. In my case, this is not the 30-second count, this is the 30th. I don't know why, but when it's Weeks Dye Works, I prefer to take half a count bigger, because I have the feeling that 32 is not the real 32. Maybe when they are like dyeing it, it's shrinking, because I have the feeling that it's smaller. That's why I'm using like at least half a count bigger. So this is the 30th. This one is stitched on 30th. This one is stitched on 30th. And I was sure that it's going to fit like on this piece of fabric, and I was kind of okay, I need like 5 pieces this size. No, this one is not going to be okay. Though after stitching this one, I understood that this piece of fabric, it's enough for like 20 triangles like this. But I thought that maybe in the new chart there is an how they say, they are stitched in such a way that you don't have to stitch all of them together, because you stitch 20 triangles, you are cutting the perimeter, and you are folding, and you are attaching all of the 20 together, you know, like Mary 15, like all the parts have to be added together. So this is how it works here, but I thought maybe it's a new technique, and you don't stitch all of them like separately, maybe some of them are stitched together. Okay. As I said, I didn't have a chart. I thought this one is going to be small, and my first I wanted to order. Apparently, at 1 to 3 stitch, this color wasn't in stock. Any piece of fabric, like small, big, bigger, the huge one, nothing was in stock. I said, okay, let me dye, because I know how to dye fabric. I already had this one, Purple Purpura, you see. I'm looking at this one. I understand that this one is not this shade, but I say, okay, maybe inside is different. I took a piece of like Belfast, I dyed it. It's beautiful. I like it very much, and I'm going to use it for my designs, but it's not, you see, it's not this one. I'm looking like to see if Reed has other shades of purple, and yes, it has. There is a shade which I think it can be this one. It's called Hyacinth, I think. I ordered it, and what do you think? When you need it the fastest, it comes the slowest. It didn't arrive yet. Yes, it's coming. I have it tracking, but it hasn't arrived yet. Okay, I'm receiving the chart. Meanwhile, I'm receiving the chart. I'm looking inside, and I'm realizing it's just they are positioned like 4 by 4, because they come in how they say, in themes, because there are like 4 with ghosts, 4 with pumpkins, 4 with spiders, but they are the same 20, which you have to stitch, to cut, and then put together. That's why I understand that the fabric which I have, it's going to be enough. That's why the decision is to stitch on the fabric I'm having, because I understand that the how they say, the result is going to be like this if I'm going to use this shade of fabric. So I started, so this is the fabric I have. You see, I kind of like have like 4 here, 4 is going to be here, another 2 rows of 4, and here it's going to be enough for another 4. So 12 are going to be, so how many? 4 plus 4 is 8, 8 plus 8, 16. 16 are going to be here and 4 are going to be here. So for sure it's going to be enough, because I have stitched a lot of like things like where I have to cut the parts. I even had an idea of like, you see, I even placed them like randomly. I'm not afraid, that's the thing, I'm not afraid, because I have already stitched and cut many times this kind of things. I even had the idea, but I didn't apply it, of like, if you want to save fabric, you can put like this one like here, but it's going to be here, it's going to be 4, here it's going to be just 3. Anyway, what I have done so far, I have done just the triangles, and I understood why so much black is needed. You see, so everything like the frame, how they say, the inside cross stitches, they are made with black. The back biscornu stitch is made with black, but be careful when you're stitching. The biscornu stitch, these two, they are made with black. The base of the triangle is made with the darkest brown gray, 3799. Be careful about that. And that's it. So inside I have to stitch. So far I done the, how they say, the boring part, and now I am to do the nice part. And it's not an easy work. For those who stitched just now, you probably know that this design may seem funny and nice and interesting, but only we, the ones who stitched and finished such a thing, you know that there is a lot of work behind this beautiful beautiful things. And yes, I'm going to continue stitching, and I'm going to let you know how this one is going on. And this is what I have so far. And this is a big deal, I would tell you. So the thing is that I have stitched everything. I mean, like all the 20 triangles, all of them are stitched. I stitched them on the piece of fabric I had. The piece of fabric was enough. I told you that according to the experience I already have, I felt that it is enough. I even have a little piece like which is left over for a mouse. If I will have a mouse from this color of fabric, I can do it. So it's as usual, you stitch a lot. It's a lot of 3/4 stitches. It's cross stitch. Nothing unusual. For those who stitched at least one design from Just Nan like this, you know how it works. So the thing is that according to the key, they advise you to take like 5 pieces of fabric kind of like this, and to stitch on each of them the 4 groups of triangles. But on the previous one, on the previous pentagon, they were like showing to stitch everything on the same piece of fabric. That's why I stitched on the same piece of fabric, like all of them. And in the end, when I stitched the 4th, I still wanted to try, because I had this idea of so this is my idea of how you can save as much fabric as you need. Okay, here till it's too little. I will deal with it. For me it's not a problem, but still I think it's too little, and I had like more space, but I didn't count, like didn't measure it. But if you are afraid, you still can leave a little bit like more, you see. And this, I think this is the most economical way of stitching these triangles. Okay, and it's a part of the design which is boring, as you usually know, because for each of them, for example, you have to do like the outline in like black cross stitches. Then you have to do the cross stitch. The biscornu stitch here is black, here is a dark gray. Then inside also it comes a lot of like things which you do like on the kind of like window on this frame. Inside the, how they say, the subject itself, they were not so difficult. For example, this one is the spiders. As you can see, here it's a lot of backstitch for the spiders, and these little spiders, they are backstitch I already know by heart, by the way. They are used in all the Halloween designs by Just Nan. Then it comes the 4 pumpkins. For the pumpkins, you probably know, for those who at least stitched one Just Nan design, you know that they come like in how they say, in lines. Yes, like you take one color and you go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines, and the second color you go 1, 2, 3, 4. There are colors which you use only 2 lines. This one was a long stitched. It was back stitch, like 3, 4, 5 colors for each pumpkin. That's why it took a longer time, and the spiders also took a longer time because they have the back stitch. The easiest ones were these ones. The easiest were the ghosts, because you stitch what's inside, you stitch only with white, and you make the back stitch with black. By the way, the black stitch here, for example, is made in 2 threads, even if the key says to do it in 1 thread. This is like the way I'm doing it, because after stitching so many designs I already realized that I like when it's more evident, like their eyes, their mouth. Then it's the scales, the skeletons. They were also easy to stitch, but as you probably noticed, each of the skeletons has a spider. And again, this spider took time, because this spider is very tiny. You have to back stitch it like over 1 thread, something like this. And the 4th group, which is my favorite one, by the way, I would say it's various, I'm saying. So it has a black cat and a spider, of course. Then the second one, it's a mummy and a bat on its head. Then the most cute and favorite is the witch with green face. And there is a goal, I'm not sure how this one is called. This one also was easy to stitch. So yes, and after finishing it, of course, I already attached the interfacing on the other side, and as you can see, there are numbers, because in the instructions it is strictly said to mark them. For example, when you start with the pumpkins, so it's like A1, A2, A3, A4, C1, C2, C2, C3, C4, so on and so forth, because so you need these ones, because they are going to be very useful when you are going to make the put them together, because the next step is to cut them. So this is my favorite part. When you take a piece of fabric, you stitch everything on it, then you cut like in little pieces, then you put the little pieces together, and you get the amazing, beautiful thing like this. So yeah, the letters and numbers, they are to know how to do this one. Even though there were a lot of cases when I stitched like rare just nans, and I guided myself only, not by this kind of, how they say, part of the assembling. I even looked here on the preview, and I was able to put it together. So I hope it's not going to be a problem for me, and I hope I'm not going to make mistakes. And from the embellishment pack, I already used 1 pack. So the beads which were to be used, where are they? They are here. So the beads which are to be used, very little striped orange, so-called pumpkin beads are left, the petites. But the beads, by the way, they are also pretty many, I would say. For example, in each of the triangle, you have to stitch on the corners the orange, this orange pumpkins, striped pumpkins, like 3 each triangle. And here, everywhere comes the little ones, the petite ones. And there is like this one, I think even are more petites here than in the others. So, and I'm attaching all the beads with cross stitch. And I have like 1 more, which is going to be used like in the end. It is said that we need this kind of pins. They needed to like take a black bead and take a paillette and put it here. I'm going to try first to do with the pins, but if they are going to get out, I'm going to attach them with thread. Still, I am thinking attaching them with thread. I'll see. So, and the filling for the pentagon. So now my next step is to cut all the triangles, to arrange them according to this one, and start doing the discordant stitch. And of course, I'm going to show you how this one is going on. And here I cut all the pieces, I put them like together according to the key to the chart from here, see? And now I have just to take the thread and start attaching them together and filling it in. So good luck to me. And finally I got to this step. Why do I say finally? Because no matter that I have stitched and finished so many designs like this, I mean 3D designs by Just Nan, still I am joining the, I'm doing the Biscornu stitch slowly. Slowly because first of all I want to make sure I don't get it wrong, so I don't make mistakes. And also this one particularly being on like purple fabric with dark, with black threads, and the way the stitches are placed, it's not the easiest one to be done. So yes, finally I got to this part and I'm continuing. And the pentagon is ready, finished, put together. I don't know why, but it took me a lot of time, at least I think it was a lot of time, until I made the Biscornu stitch. Maybe because the fabric is dark, the floss is dark, I don't know, but it was, and I wasn't, the interesting thing is that when I started like sewing it together, I was thinking, okay, this one, and then it's going to be ready. And when I noticed that it's taking a lot of time, I kind of like gave up, just calmed down, and you know, in a kind of like meditation, I was going on and doing it, going on and doing it, and I finished it. So this is how it looks like. I totally adore it. Very nice. The color of the fabric, I think it makes like a lot of difference. From the embellishment packs, by the way, so the rest of them which I used, the sequins, just one is left, by the way, so be careful with them, don't lose. Probably it's just 1 or 2 extra, and that's it. So this is what I have left. The fabric pins, I made them and I put them here. I'm not very thrilled about them, I will tell you honestly, and I'm thinking, I have, by the way, I brought here, so I have some like autumn Halloween pins. I have the pumpkin, which can be used here because this one is a pumpkin. What else? I have a spider, which can be used here because there are spiders here. I have an owl, which is not, again, one more with spiders. I have such a thing. See, there is a blackbird. I had one with a bat. I cannot find it, I don't know where is it, but I am sure I had one with bat. I don't have a ghost pin, and I thought about making one, so now I'm looking for ghost charms. Maybe in future to like make a ghost pin, and from a charm, which is going to be a pin for this pentagon. By the way, none with like the previous pentagon, not with this one. This, in my case, this is not a round, how do I say, sphere ball. I don't know, maybe I'm not feeling it correctly, but I did everything according to the instructions, and I think, like, how do I say, from the point of view of physics, I think it won't be a perfect ball, because you notice that I just attached this one together, I attached this ones together, I made this this one, and then I filled it in. So, and I didn't like push with the filling, because I had a case when I pushed with the filling, I had a problem with like attaching here, and since then, it was a few years ago, since then I'm just putting as much as it's needed, you see. So I don't think that if you are going to like put a lot of filling, this one is going to be like the perfect ball, and the other one is the same form. So maybe I'm not right, but I'm happy with the construction. Very nice, very nice, just super happy. And look how well it fits with this one. So till the end, this linen, I think it's the perfect one for I'm very glad that the piece I found in my stash, it was enough, and I stitched it. And the pins which I used here, I said that I will see if they are not getting out. If they will use to get out, I will sew these ones. No, they are not getting out, so they are like sitting here perfectly. That's why I'm not going to sew them. I'm going to keep the pins and the beads. Really, really nice. Very happy that I got it quickly. I mean the chart, and I stitched. I had like the materials in my stash, and I stitched it and finished it. And I think that's everything which I wanted to show you in today's video. I hope you liked it. I hope it was interesting for you, and see you in my next videos. Until then, bye bye.